So wow, what happened while I was gone? I left a week ago and Black Beacon was the bee's knees, best thing since sliced bread. And I come back and there have been 2 new updates, bug fixes, and a huge controversy that's caused players to actually uninstall the game. Let's get into it and find out everything that happened while I was gone. I'm Shrike, subscribe for more gacha content. Let's dive in. Let's start with the good. There were many localization and translation corrections, as well as bug fixes and quality of life updates, including fixes to the skill kit functionalities of Enki. Nana's spinning blades will deal more damage now. Nana mains will be excited about that one. Lawrence's passive wasn't behaving properly, and that was fixed. I honestly didn't even notice that one. And some of the issues with Otzi were fixed, but not all of them. She still has some issues, then they're aware of them. There was also a fix to Sing's exclusive weapon and a change to the icon for the friend points. A lot of good welcomed changes, and to top it all off, we were given a brand new permanent game mode. The aforementioned changes were welcomed, but this is the real exciting part. It's called Trial of Prophecy, and in order to unlock this new game mode, you need to have cleared Chapter 1 EX, and it will contain a star rating system related to how quickly you clear the stages. So far there are 2 trials, and each trial consists of 5 stages in which you can earn a maximum of 15 stars, 3 stars for each stage. The stages will contain 1 to maybe 6 elites depending on the difficulty, not trash waves and not big boss monsters. And like I said, speed will be an important factor, so characters that are strong against bosses will do well here. And in the later stages you could get away with AoE units if they're strong enough. But I still went with Li Che for both difficulties. I did find that I didn't need a healer for the first one, for the first difficulty. It was in fact very easy. But I did for the second. I actually died on the last stage once because Li Che got too low and the enemy got off a lucky AoE. If you aren't using a self-harming unit though, I'd say you probably don't even need a healer in this difficulty either, as long as you can dodge well. I was eventually able to clear it with 3 stars using the unorthodox team you're seeing right now. A pretty risky team I don't recommend, forcing Hefe to do the job of a healer. So because of all the health the enemies have, another method I've found that works well here is Anomaly, since there's plenty of time for it to build up. I was actually able to achieve a 3-element overload using Zero, Hefe, and Li Che, which I've never been able to do before, so that was very exciting. So once you've cleared a stage, you will be able to go back and clear it again, but you won't get a reward. In fact, I'm using this function to record this run, since the new program I'm using to fix the stuttering issue decided to record my entire initial run as just a blank screen with the words looking for a game to record instead of the actual game I was clearly playing. So that was fun. But back to the trials. They cost no energy to run the stages either, so actually this might be a really good place to practice. Difficulty-wise, I would place the Trials of Prophecy above the Echoes of the Past, but below the Multiverse. Where the Multiverse has a steep difficulty spike where all of a sudden the enemy is godlike, the trials have a more gradual curve. They said that for now they have 2 difficulties, which means it's very likely we'll get more in the future. And so people who have already cleared the Multiverse can have a challenge to look forward to. But these ones that we have available now won't be difficult for them. I'm average skill-wise, and I think I'm stuck on stage 5 of Multiverse, and I barely cleared 4, so that's my skill level. And I really only had trouble with the final stage of the second difficulty of the trials, which I eventually overcame with a little team tweak. But give it a try. I think this new game mode will find a nice home with many people. Personally, I think it'll be my favorite due to where it falls on the difficulty spectrum. And the rewards are solid too, some gold, some chests, and 6 keys for each difficulty. As for how often this game mode will reset, I will assume it's monthly due to how many keys you can get for each difficulty. And if it were weekly, and they ever added more, we could get 18, 21, even 24 keys weekly, and that doesn't seem likely. So my guess is monthly, but I couldn't find that information anywhere. But now let's talk about the bad, the controversy. So after all the bugs and issues the global side has had, we received compensation in the form of 30 standard pulls. Quite generous in my opinion, and most were appeased by it. But then the CN side, which is a couple weeks behind us, and so has experienced less issues than us, received their compensation. And boy was it different. They also received 30 pulls, but 10 of them were limited, which was annoying, but nothing to bring out the pitchforks over. But then they were also given a 5-star selector. Enter Angry Mob. This much of a gap between the compensation Global and CN received has sent the community into a fury. Fickle players who didn't like that there wasn't a dedicated PC client have already left the game. The players that remain are the ones that loved it so much they were willing to overlook that and all the bugs too. But even many of them have given up on the game entirely and uninstalled it because of this. Even the mild reactions are people swearing off spending for the foreseeable future. I've seen defenders of this act stating that it's a different publisher for the CN side, so the compensation we receive is bound to be different. And CN is always favored over Global. But A, just because something isn't surprising doesn't mean it's okay. And B, in no world is it an acceptable excuse that one of your publishers is raining gold on their half of your players and another is tossing them scraps. You are the developers. You need to make sure your publishers are on the same page. I don't care what rewards or compensation we get, but the two sides need to be the same. This is not negotiable. So anybody that's angry about this is completely justified, and I would suggest speaking with your wallet and your words. Stop spending if you were before, and leave your feedback in the form of reviews in the App Store. Game companies tend to never listen until and unless they start losing money. But to end on a lighter note, Florence's banner is ending in just about 5 days as of recording this video, so if you want a copy and you've been putting it off, you're running out of time. And for those like me who've been saving up for Qing, she's almost here. AoE water unit, we'll get to see just how good the stasis meta is. I have a feeling she won't excel in boss battles, but will be pretty good for trash mobs. And I hope I get her pretty early because I really want my man Jisia. I don't even care what he does, I'm not a meta slave. I just get the characters that look awesome. But with that being said, I'm gonna fly now. See you in the next one. Bye.